Start be good, yo.
Welcome back to the Bluebirds podcast.
Yes, sir. What's up, guys? I'm not gonna say my name anymore. You guys should know the name. No. What's up, guys? You know, we just came off 2 dubs. I'm glad we didn't do a vid after the what was it? After we went against the Dolphins. I'm glad we didn't do a video because I needed 2 games to get fully settled in. I was hyped that we lost or that we won because we won in good fashion against the Dolphins. Offense was connecting. I take back what I've been saying about Aaron Rodgers. I think we're going to go as far as he takes us. He is the king right now of Pittsburgh. Dolphins game was good. It wasn't enough for me to, call him about. We let him come back, kind of. Didn't we? Not really, actually. We had so much control. We were up by towards the end, we did some Steelers stuff. Similar to this week, of course. But, this week I said, even though their record doesn't say it, I think the Lions are a top contender in the NFC. I mean, it still says it, but now they're missing the playoffs, so it doesn't. Either way, I think they're a really good team that we just beat. I still think Aaron Rodgers got touched a little bit more than I wanted him to, but it's football, Oh, Dolphins week, Daniel Jones. Cook, right? Who's our left tackle right now?
Cook.
Dan Cook, he played great. I think we might need to get Broderick up out of here. That might be a hot take. But, sorry, I'm just rambling.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, I like Dan Cook, man. I like the way he's looking. Offense is connecting all cylinders. I'm not even going to go over the Dolphins game too much, really, because I don't, to be honest, I don't fully remember. Kenny G's that guy. Cheapest deal in the league for how good he is. No the incredible catch he made. I knew he caught it. The people I was watching it with were like, no, that's not a catch. And I said, bro, first, no replay, I knew he caught it, and I knew it was a tutty. So I was hyped about that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just rambling. I'm hyped, guys. I'm back on the wagon. I'm back being... I'm not even going to say we're delusional. I'm not even going to say I'm delusional right now. I'm not even going to talk about Tomlin either.
Just Steelers fans. That's typical Steelers fans.
Yeah, I'm not even going to talk about Tomlin either because as of now, it's not... Like I said, it's really not... I'm not saying the coaches aren't coaching their ass off. I think they actually are. I think they're out scheming a lot of people. And, he just went up against probably my favorite coach in the league, Dan Campbell. And, he did his thing against them for sure. We never really let them have any control of the game. But outside of coaching, like I said, I really think Aaron Rodgers is the head coach on the field. I think he's the spirit of this team. I think we're going to go as far as he lets us go. And it's up to his 42-year-old wizardry. He's still doing his thing out there. So I'll just ramble while we go. I'll think of stuff. But yeah, I'm really hyped right now, guys. I think we could make definitely a playoff win. I think we could get a playoff win with how we're playing. It's up to the run D. I think it was still wobbly at times, but not really. I mean, we held them really well. There's just certain plays that don't look good to me, but that's the NFL. Yeah. But as a Steeler fan, obviously, it's
especially
under
when you're
microscope.
playing good competition too. That's the good thing about when you can take away things from good competition versus like when you play a team like the Dolphins. It's like Dolphins is a team that could low key beat anyone, but you expect to beat them, especially with the weather conditions and the stakes that were So my takeaway on the last 2 weeks, defensively, I thought we've been getting off the field more. Third downs, we've been getting off the field. That's something I noticed the past 2 weeks. We haven't really had to rely on the splash plays for our defense to perform well. And that's something that we couldn't say early in this season and even in a couple years prior before. Is like we kind of needed our defense to capitalize on turnovers in order for us to be successful. But they're starting to prove that, our defense is starting to be able to get stops. Obviously, we want to clean up the way we finish games. I think we take a more relaxed lax approach, give up more things across the middle whenever, we're up by 2 or 3 scores. And I don't know. I don't always like that approach because, it showed. It showed against Detroit. We really, honestly, we deserved to win that game, but we could have easily lost it with the way we played down the stretch. It was more too conservative. I don't think the offense played conservative down the stretch, but defensively, it's like we thought we had the game won. We was giving up too big of a chunk plays. Like, I can understand giving up stuff underneath that's like 6 yards, rally, make the tackles, but giving up things 20 yards in the middle of the field. Once the Lions scored and there was 4 minutes on the clock, that's when it settled in for me. Like, okay, there's a possibility we can lose this game because, man, it's a lot of time left. What are we going to do on offense? Are we going to get stagnant? And Arthur Smith, I got to give him credit where credit is due. And what did I say a couple weeks ago? I said on the podcast, I didn't think he was good at scheming things up, but you know what? These past 2 weeks, he's been great at it, especially in key moments. The 2 jet sweeps, the one with Jonnu and the one with Gainwell, were big. Not just because of the games, just because of the way it started off our drive. It got us into a rhythm, a flow in our offense. Gainwell, I honestly think he's really solidifying himself. I really hope we bring him back next year. I know he's on a 1-year deal. Yeah. Warren played like a beast. I like our tandem. I've said it from the beginning. I'm going to keep saying it. There's a reason why there's a coach's decision for Johnson not to play. Not that I don't want to see him grow, but we found a diamond in the rough, and sometimes that doesn't happen. But with Gainwell, it has. I'm going to give credit to Thielen. I think Thielen, he stepped up in some key moments against Detroit. No, he's not giving you clear wide receiver 2 numbers, but it's the little things. It's things that we talked about, being a savvy veteran, being there where Aaron Rodgers expects you to be, making key blocks on the edges. Like, I really like the way Thielen is playing. I gotta be honest, Scanlon, his legs look younger than I thought they would. Honestly, thought that he should have brought down the one catch, difficult catch, but I thought he should have brought it down. That deep ball that Aaron Rodgers threw, it was beautiful.
You definitely should have brought that.
Yeah, I think he definitely should. It was a difficult catch. I can understand having to contour your body. Like, I think A-Rob maybe should have put it not to the back corner, but I think he should have just. They said it on the broadcast, just a tad bit, but I mean that's being picky. It was a good ball. He should have caught it.
Good ball,
yeah. So at the end of the day, I like the way we're performing on both sides of the ball. Our offense took a little bit to get going. But ultimately, the thing that scared me most, honestly, is when I look at Jahmyr Gibbs, he reminds me a lot of a James Cook. And I remember what James Cook did to us a couple weeks ago. So I was nervous. I was very nervous if we was going to be able to tackle well, tackle in space. And I think we set the tone early off the bat. They tried to throw a screen to him. We rallied, and I think it was Eccles who made a pretty decent hit on the very first play. And then, of course, he had the little bobble fumble, but he got it back. But yeah, I like the way our defense rallied. I like everything about the past 2 weeks. I like the aggressiveness of the play calls, like the aggressiveness and key moments, not just settling for 3, knowing that you need 7 points to put teams away. So the lone Bryce Ball was probably the missed Boswell field goal. I think that probably would have made it a little bit easier to finish out the game, of course. But you know what? You can't really give him too much slack. So.
Yeah.
That's just that's my basic overview of the past 2 weeks. What you want to get into?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go back in the sides of the ball a little bit. Like you said, Jahmyr Gibbs last week, I was actually a little worried about him, and I saw a few chunks from him, nothing major, and we were able to keep him in check, as well as Goff, which, Goff's a really underrated quarterback in this league. He's probably the most underrated, I think, because he's a guy that kind of is just behind the scenes almost, even though he's the head guy on that team. But outside of just other teams we're going against outside of the competition aspect, I'm more or less referring to size of the ball. I'd say defensive line played a lot better last week. We had Harmon do some things. Even if it wasn't on the stat sheet, he was definitely clogging some gaps, doing his thing. Cam Hayward's been playing back to his original self the past 2 weeks. I think guys like Y.A. Black are showing up a little bit. I think Herbig's out, right? So Sawyer's been doing a little bit something. I really like his TJ-like play when he crashed down. Got the running back for a TFL. Highsmith had 2 TFLs that were big, and then he's been producing really big. So I'd say our front line's looking good. Linebacker wise, I'd like to see more Peyton Wilson in terms of on the field. I think I saw a lot of
Harrison's been
50
out there a lot.
Harrison. He's all right.
Harrison, he's good at what he does. He's kind of playing that role of what who was it? Roberts.
Yeah,
has the past couple years.
Yeah,
Elandon
Roberts.
And you know,
Not
I think Peyton Wilson again. He right now he's kind of that splash player. Like he didn't take the jump I necessarily thought he would, and I don't think it's necessarily just because it's play. I just think like running man, he's physical, right? He's someone that's going to give his all. He is physical. He's a physical linebacker. He plays physical. He tackles physical. He finishes his tackles. But you know, there's just times where he's at a disadvantage in terms of weight.
His niche.
Yeah.
Although he can provide the mentality, it's not his physical niche.
Yeah. So,
which
you know,
I understand that.
I understand it, but yeah, I think you know what, right now would be the perfect time to keep getting them in there because of the way everyone else is playing. Our D line's playing better. Our back end's playing better. Joey Porter, shout out to Joey Porter.
I was gonna say he's my favorite.
He's been playing like a
right
top 5 cornerback the past.
And I hate people
4
that don't
weeks,
like him.
past
I
4 or
really
5 weeks, he's been playing like a top cornerback. And you want to know what it is? You want to know the big difference that makes him a top 5 quarterback right now? They haven't been calling the ticky-tack fouls that they have been weeks prior. They're kind of letting him play more, and I like it. They're letting him be physical because a lot of those things, I never really thought were flags, really. I mean, it in real time. Of course, when you play things back in slow motion, a little tug is going to look like something, but I always look at it like, is he in phase? I feel like Joey Porter's always in phase when it comes to being a DB and being in position.
Yeah.
So,
he's got long arms. I think he's handsy, of course, and I respect the aggression. But yeah, like he's the best player on the field in terms of D-backs in the past a lot of games. I'll argue to the death of me with guys about JPJ. I actually think he is a top 5 corner right now. I know that's a little crazy of a take, but his PFF numbers, even though PFF isn't always reliable, is very good. It seems when they throw to him, it's not too successful. I love his confidence coming out. Like, he really plays with that edge. I think Jalen Ramsey loves him a lot. He sees himself in him, I really think. Of course, we're not going to go that far yet, but I just more or less mean that young hunger. Another DB I think's been playing great is Duggar. Duggar's a great pickup. I really do think that. I think as much as I love Deshaun Elliott, Duggar could be our starting strong safety for years to come. With what I'm seeing, Jalen Ramsey's resurrected his career, I think. Not even resurrected, more or less prolonged his career if he stays at the free safety position. Patrick Queen's playing good football. I don't have anything wrong too much with him. He's been
finishing tackles more than... The one thing about Queen is... sorry, not to cut you off.
You're good.
But Pat Queen, I just noticed there's times where he's there. He's in the backfield before anyone, and he wasn't finishing tackles early in the season. And now you can see like he's making those one-on-one tackles in space, and that's what you want to see from your linebackers is good tackling. That's what anyone wants to see with their defense. Period. I think we've been given that. So honestly, can't complain about his play at all.
Mm-hmm. Echols has been good, of course.
All DB rooms. Samuel too. Shout out to Samuel. I mean,
Asante, yeah.
There's a time where he's obviously like he's in a physical disadvantage, and like the one touchdown to Waller against Miami and stuff like that. But he's always in phase. Like I think he's going to be
second round draft pick.
He's going to
he's going to be our number 2 corner. I think. Yeah, 100%. Him and JPJ are going to be
even Pierre. Like it's hard to say. I was saying probably 5 weeks ago we need to draft wide receivers, cornerbacks, but now still wide receivers, of course, but D linemen. But I mean, I'm pretty comfortable in our corner room because
we have one of the best.
They're young
right now.
Yeah, Asante Samuel's 26.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got JPJ. So I think
I want to say he's younger than 26 because he was the second round pick how many years ago?
I think like 2019 maybe. Around there, some maybe like 2021, 2020, around that era. But
either way, is young.
Yeah, he's a young guy. So people
just
didn't want to take a risk.
Disadvantage because of surgery. I think in a way his legs are fresher than they would be, of course, if he, played recently because he's been out for a little bit. Yeah. Honestly, I can't really knock too many people on defense right now. I want to see what Herbig does when he's out there. Prayers to TJ Watt with the collapsed lung. when he gets back, I hope he provides that splash. Not that we are lacking fully, but I hope if we go on a playoff run like we should, like I expect us to, that he is a part of that. I hope he gets back. Nonetheless, football's not important when it comes to that stuff. So, and I think we're looking good without him, not in a bad way, but it's more or less we talked about that off camera. We have depth. We knew we had depth at the outside, at the edge rusher position. So, as much as TJ is a top paid guy, my head did not start spinning because of that. Now, one thing my head is slightly spinning about is this week's a must-win because from my interpretation, I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure if we win this week, we're the division champs.
We're good.
Right?
Yeah, we're good. If we win this week, we're setting our starters against Baltimore.
And we have a playoff bye after that. Yeah. So,
and that's very bad. It's a very big 2 weeks because if Ravens do somehow beat Green Bay this week, which is possible. I mean, I know the record doesn't indicate that they're a good team, but it's the Ravens. You got Lamar, you got a chance. But it's big because we're not going to have DK. So
that's what I'm getting at. That's why my head's spinning. And I'm not too scared, but it's just we're already like wide receivers.
Yeah, we got to take care of business against Cleveland because you don't want to put yourself in a position where you got to win that game at Baltimore because I'm pretty sure if Baltimore wins out, I mean, if they win this week and then play us and beat us, I'm pretty positive they're in the playoffs. So
they're in the playoffs. Yes, we would win the division still if we win this week.
If we win this week, yes.
If we win this week,
yes.
But
they're out the playoffs. If we win this week, the Ravens are out.
Really?
There's no getting in. They're out.
Yeah, and that's why this is a huge week, guys. Of course, and with the DK stuff, I'm not going to get into the altercation. As soon as he got sent out. Two things that hit my mind naturally are going to be either it's race-related stuff the guy said or family-related because I don't see DK as a guy that...
I seen the video, honestly. I didn't see him say anything racist.
Me either.
I seen the article that said it was the same fan. That fan was the same fan that had with him when he was in Seattle or something.
I heard him say his full name. I was going to elaborate. I thought that it was racial or family-related, and I've seen so many different things. I just never saw DK as a guy that would do that to a fan. Definitely, he's been a crash out, so to speak, on the field at times. But I heard numerous reports. One that he called him his full name, which I don't necessarily think that's enough to slap him. And then one that the guy was saying kind of things about his play, but a little further than just that. I forget exactly what it was. But nonetheless, not an excuse. 2 week suspension, yeah, it doesn't look great for this week in terms of obviously we would love. We might have to have
a grimy type of win this weekend.
Yeah, and
I'm okay with that.
This week we had two huge runs that really sealed the game off. We had our two running back, our tandem played really well. That's gonna have to happen again, but I mean the Browns just took the Bills all the way to the end. They have a really good defense. Their run defense is great. Guy like Myles Garrett is I think he'll probably break the sack record against us, and I don't mean to say that in a negative way. I more or less just mean our line sometimes, I think we hold off well, but
depends how much
we're going to give up a few.
It depends. I know Buffalo, they literally went into last week saying he's not breaking it against us. That's what
the coach that's how said. We have to think, of course.
So it wouldn't be, even though the Browns are so terrible, I think they almost, as a fan base, hang their hat off of the TJ Myles Garrett situation.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be good in terms of having to hear people, but I mean, the Browns are the Browns.
If he gets his sack against us and we win the game, I could give a hell less.
Right. You know what I mean?
And he's a great player. And I think as of right now, he is better than TJ this year. Now, all time, I'm a Steeler fan. I'm not going to talk about that. I got TJ in that one, but he is playing lights out. And he has been. He's Defensive Player of the Year. About to be the sack leader, sack master. But I mean, we just got to do things right this week on defense all the way, which I think we can. I'm a real big fan of Shador, watching Shador, mainly because of storyline. As much as a guy that had a dad that was one of the best players ever, he is an underdog in my eyes right now. I know people call him spoon-fed and whatnot and overly confident, but he's an underdog to me because I think Stefanski wants him out of there. Not necessarily out of there, but I think he's given him a lot of tests, as he should. But nonetheless, I think he's playing good football, but a team like us, we just got to do what we do to rookie quarterbacks every time, and we got to put pressure on them, take them out of the game. you got guys like Judy and whatnot. I think we can definitely minimize the play of the receivers with our D-backs. I think it comes down to our front guys. We got to stop the run. You know, that's every week. But if we could stop the run and get pressure on Shador, I don't see too many leaky plays happening. I think our backs have been doing well, like we said. Offensively, we just got to... Honestly, offensively, like he said, it has to be a grudge match this week, I think. I don't want to not come out swinging and try to get big plays. I just think, you know, they have a good defense. They got Denzel Ward on the back end. They got Myles Garrett up front with a collection of other guys, linebackers and whatnot that can bring it and they can play. So, yeah, I think it's going to be more of a challenge than it sounds like, naturally, because it's AFC North football. You know, of course, their record shows that they're not a good team and they haven't been in years, but yeah, I just think it's going to be an AFC North battle a little bit. I don't want to make it that, though, before we go in. Right, hopefully the team doesn't think of it that way.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be a more condensed game. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be, like, not too many explosive plays on each side. It's going to come down to the little things, who can run the ball better, who can stop the run better. And ultimately, I think, you know, if we could take away the run game and force Shador in a situation where he has to do more than what's required, then I think we got a good day on defense. He has shown the past 2 weeks. He had two picks last week, 3 picks the week before. All of them not necessarily his fault, but ball placement is important in the NFL when you got guys that are playing at 1,000 miles per hour, and you know, it's the little things. Even as a quarterback, I do want to walk back some of the things I said about Shador. I was low on him in terms of, I didn't think his athleticism would be able to translate to the league, but I think that's one of the bright spots I've been seeing from him, honestly. Good footwork in the pocket, just little things for him. I think he will pan out to be a good quarterback if Cleveland wants to take him. I think it could be a Baker Mayfield situation if they let go of him. They could possibly regret it.
The Raiders might eat him up. I mean, Tom Brady just was giving him high praise.
Yeah, that's his trainer. So I mean, obviously he knows something. So he knows something. One point I do want to make, something that makes me more optimistic this year than in years past going to the playoffs, is we're going in with some momentum. Years past, like last year, we started off 10-3, finished 10-7. Going into the playoffs. So it was like that airy feeling of like, well, we know what's coming. But optimism comes with success. So I think, you know, winning these games on the stretch, winning a game like Detroit was very big for us, confidence-wise. Like, scratch the X's and O's and all the other stuff. We look like we have an identity again.
Yeah.
And what the thing I like about it more this time around than earlier in the season when we were stringing out the wins, we're not relying on the over tackle stuff. We're not relying on just out bruting someone. We're actually scheming up players to get open. We're using Jonnu enough. This is what I wanted to see. Like, okay, when you got 3 tight ends, I still honestly don't think we're using Freiermuth enough.
No, that's our guy to unlock the 40-plus point games, by the way, I think. Go on, my bad. Yeah. I think if we unlock him, he could give us the full spark. Yeah. Go on, my bad.
I think Freiermuth is they all bring different skill sets. Like, they all do. Jonnu, I like the way we're using him out the backfield here and there. He's a physical specimen. Yeah. And when you got running back traits, use them. That's what teams do. That's how you're able to get players in the rhythm. But, I mean, if you're Jonnu, you're not getting the ball all game. You can't expect him to go out there and just be in a rhythm when you need them. You know what I mean? Same with DK. Like, those are guys, they got to feel the ball. They got to feel the importance of the game early, because that's when teams are filled up. When teams fill those guys early, Darnell Washington, all those big, strong guys that we have, and they feel their presence early, it's like, oh, man, we got to deal with these guys for 4 quarters. But when you're not scheming for them, when you're not giving them the ball early in the game, defenses are like, oh, okay. When we do have to worry about them, at that point, it's like, we're already settled in the game. You got to make teams uncomfortable early, and it got to be with physicality when you got the big, brutish guys we have. Team got to feel that, or otherwise, what do you got them out there for? Because Darnell Washington isn't the fastest guy. He's not the most athletic guy. So, of course, what he brings to the table is his physical presence. So, yeah, we got to establish that early. And I think we have been. And, yeah, I can't complain. I think Arthur Smith is looking good. Like, it's looking like it's not Cincinnati explosive, but it's like I feel confident that we'll put up at least 20 plus points from here on out, and I haven't felt like that in years. That's not saying this is the height of where I want to see our offense be, but it's a good string of games and a good sample size to be like, you know what?
Yeah, we had some 3 and outs I didn't like, but that's ball that comes with play. But I agree. I think we're catching on fire at the right time. I think, and it's not even fire yet. Like I said, I think Freiermuth getting heavily involved would be really game changing. I think he will be more involved this week, of course, with DK gone. I still think he's our best all around, not all around tight end, but I'd say he's the best pass catcher in terms of like what he could really do. From what I've seen over the years, I just think he should be the wide receiver too. I know that sounds a little crazy, I guess, but I think he kind of, for years, he was a safety blanket, even for each guy coming in. At least with Ben, he looked really good.
Yeah, obviously his production has dropped off tremendously.
But
from years past.
Either way, I'm not going to hone it on one player. Arthur Smith's been calling good games. Our running backs have been playing good. We've been allowing them to blossom. Off topic a bit, but I will say, KJ didn't dress last week. I don't care about that. What I do care about is I love the group. The running back group stays together after games. You can see they walk in together, they walk out together. They seem to all be close, but the main thing I'm getting at here that's off topic is Kenny, oh my God. Caleb Johnson looks ginormous next to them. And I'm not saying they're both not a little shorter, but I don't know if you guys seen the post games, but KJ looks huge, like kind of like too big. Like I think that's in the future. That's going to be our guy when it needs to go down. Not that we don't have 2 guys that are going to probably be here a while.
I hope so. It's tough because I think again we know what he's capable of. Like he was a top back in college. He's capable. It's the league. The NFL is almost like it's really a confidence thing. Can he shake back from not necessarily probably having to start to his career that maybe he hoped for. But again, to what he spoke on, him even walking out, being connected to that group shows that he's willing to learn under these guys. He's able to see things from a different perspective. When you're that talented, and you see things from a different, sometimes you're like, okay, I see the little things that Gainwell is doing to get these extra yards or to see these cutbacks. I could be a little bit more patient. That the thing with him is, you could tell he's kind of just, when he gets his name called on, he's running hard. It's just like there's not a confidence to do anything other than run and get as much yards as you could get with him. Yeah. And he's an explosive back, and I've seen his film, and I know that he got a bag in him in terms of like the way his running style, and I think one day he will show it. I just hope he's able to keep his confidence up, because that's the biggest thing in the NFL. When you have that confidence, and if you have the mindset of okay, I'm the next guy up, I'm the future, then you'll be in prime position. But if you're one of those guys, ain't work out, and then when you get your name called, it's like you ain't. You could be that guy that's ping ponging around the league, and yeah, that's the difference. But he has a lot of promise. I agree.
Yeah, a lot of these younger guys that I'm excited to see. I think hopefully we take care. I don't want to get ahead of myself. We take care of business this week. Hopefully, like Caleb Johnson could get the start against the Ravens. If we, if it's a if the game doesn't matter, hopefully Eccles and guys like that can just start right off rip. Sit Joey Porter maybe. Maybe you get guys like Roman Wilson back in the mix. You put him and see what he can do against them. This is a stretch, but I would love to see Will Howard. Yeah. Why not? Why not? You know what you're going to get out of Mason. And it's not that it's bad, but we're not. Mason is a QB2, right? We're doing that so we can stay afloat and win the game.
But we have to see if Will Howard has the potential to be a QB1. I think he deserves that opportunity. Perfect. If he had a preseason and we had enough sample size, my bad.
No, you're good.
If we had enough sample size of Will Howard in game, obviously I don't think the fan base would be as present to see him, but we want to see what we have and what we got.
We can handle business this week. I don't see why he doesn't start, and then all the young guys you can get in there. Why not? That's of course rest, but then you get to see where you're at. We're going into a draft that some might say we have possibilities for a quarterback pick. I think next year would be better, but either way, I want to see what Will Howard got going on, man. I want to see, I think it would just give us a good feeling because, we hopefully we'll be riding high if we get this win. I mean, we will be. And, I'm not going to go too far ahead of myself. If we win this week, I will start talking on that for sure and get really into the fact that that's a possibility. But one game at a time, I think Aaron Rodgers will handle business this week. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, like we said earlier, I think we're playing good ball. I don't think there's too much to say negatively. I can't really talk about these last two games, and I feel like
you know what? That's why negative things have to come out because honestly, like if the crowd didn't give the reaction they did at Acrisure, who knows if Tomlin would have changed his approach, the aggressiveness. You could tell right off the bat. He's like, okay, all right, well, what do I got to lose? They already calling for my job. I'm not. This is just They're already calling for my job. What do I have to lose? Let me start being aggressive. But that's the non-living in your fears that I've always wanted him to live up to. Mm-hmm. Not acting like that's who you are, and then when you play good teams and you see them drop their nuts and you're scared to do it, it's like, come on. But we matched. That's why I love about the Detroit game. We matched that intensity early, where we was the first ones to have an opportunity to go for it on a 4th and short, and we did it, and that set the tone for the game of like, okay, that sets the tone, man. When your team knows that, okay, if we get in those 4th and short, we're going. We're not thinking twice about it. I love the play call from Arthur Smith. I mean, I know he's not the first one to do it, but the timeliness of the call with the fake touch when we gave it to Gainwell.
That was nice, man. That was a great
call. Because I seen it a couple times in other games, college games. So I'm pretty sure that might have been where he got it from. But the timeliness of it, when you're coming off a game where we done it 3 times in a row. We did it 3 times. Well, we did it 3 times the last game against Miami, right? So
Connor Hayward, shout out to him. He found a little role.
Yeah, he has. And so when you're able to do that, right, 3 times in one game, and obviously they're looking at the film and they see you, and that was the first opportune time where you could do that. That was a perfect time to catch him off guard and do what we did. I think he was honestly, he was in his bag. I gotta admit, like Arthur Smith, he took shots when he needed to. But when, like I said before, kind of like the Vikings game, when you're running the ball that well, you don't necessarily have to take the deep shots. You can still stay modest within your offense. But we've been taking them when we had them. There's a couple of times where I think Aaron Rodgers needs to throw the back shoulder. My dad said it too. Throw the back shoulder instead of always trying to lead them. And he did it. He did it the very last first down that DK got. A big first down on the 1st and 20, actually. We got it on the left sidelines where he caught the ball for a first down back shoulder. And that was the adjustment. That's all I got to say about the game, how we've been playing. Yeah, we're excited as Steelers fans. I know I'm excited. It gives me hope for the playoffs, and even though we made the playoffs the past couple of years, I didn't have hope that we would go in there and win. I really think we could win some games. I think we could win bare minimum 2 games in the playoffs. No doubt. I think we could.
Really?
Yes, I think we're capable of it. Simply because of teams like the Jaguars, which we have a bad rep with the Jaguars, honestly. Mm-hmm. But they're like one of those teams where it's weird. But I have confidence that we could go in and beat a team like the Patriots. I have confidence we could go in and beat a team like Denver in Denver. I have the confidence that we could beat Jacksonville in Jacksonville. Not saying that we will. I'm just saying I like our chances. I like our chances compared to going down to Arrowhead or going down to the Bills' place. That's where we might still have to face the Bills at some point. But
yeah, I'm
just saying, I like our chances right now. As long as we could keep riding what we're riding, and every guys have the belief, I think our back end is playing tremendous, and that gives us a chance against teams that are explosive. So
yeah,
even though we lost to the Bills, it was 23-7.
Mm-hmm.
Our offense didn't perform at all.
No.
And I want to say, did Mason Rudolph play that game?
No. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I think he did.
I thought he played against the Bears.
He did play against the Bears. Okay. Yeah, so no, he didn't play that game. But I think
Didn't look great either way. But
no, it didn't look great. But 23 points
Nothing
giving up
crazy.
to the Bills isn't terrible
and we didn't play great at all.
at all.
That's probably the team I'd be afraid of most right now, only because I think not that we're scared, not that we're kind of like tucking our tails.
Psychological thing.
Yeah, I think just because of their success over the years and because of the players they do have, like Josh, of course, the best guy in the league in my opinion at that position overall. But and I go back and forth. Sometimes I'll say Lamar, but right now I'd say he's playing crazy ball, but. That's nothing new. I think the psychological warfare there would definitely be one thing. And every other team in the AFC, I think, is pretty wide open. I think, the Patriots we have beaten as much as that's the regular season. They've gotten a lot better. I think we have the capabilities to beat them. I mean, there's no one I don't think we can beat playing our best.
That's my point.
And
that's my point.
That is very settling when you say, okay, at our best, we could beat anyone. Because there's years where we could say that, and it's not true.
Yeah, I mean, when you're playing the Chiefs and the Bills first round, it's a feeling of like, you know what I mean? It's not like, can we win? But if we win a game at home in the playoffs, and then we got to go to Jacksonville or something, I'm going to be hyped that whole week. Like, because I'm not just going to be hyped on game day and be delusional, like, oh, we can't do it. There's a possibility. Because I'll do that too, even when we play the Bills and Chiefs. But that whole week, I actually be like, I expect us to win. Literally, I'll expect us more than hope, and
I'd be shocked. Shock's a bad word. I'd be shell shocked, like, oh my god, yes, if we do make the AFC Championship, but I wouldn't be pinching myself in terms of and I know this is a way different take than I've had, but I just more or less mean it wouldn't be shocking this year out of all years in a from a skill standpoint, because people are talking, we're buzzing.
We're going to the Bowl.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna bring up something.
We're going to the.
I'm gonna bring up something weird right quick, guys. I'm on TikTok watching videos, and I've been more, closer to God over the years. I'm not gonna make this a religious channel, but in my past, I've been more universe-based, spiritual, which I think takes attention away from our Creator, of course. But there's still stuff that's real. I still think people get gifted divine certain things, and some people can do like card readings and stuff. I don't know if you watch stuff like that, but this girl today was doing readings on the Steelers, and she said that it's going to be us against the Bears in the Super Bowl. Of course, people do stuff like that, but she was very big on Aaron Rodgers. She said he's going to be stellar these next weeks all the way till the Super Bowl. She didn't say we was going to win it. She said, we're going to go, though, and, I'm only saying this because for the people out there that do believe in that stuff, I guess go watch it. But it was kind of eerie to watch, like when you watch a magician pull out your freaking bank info, the way she was not predictive of the cards, how they were placed, and she was picking them, and there was a way to relate it to the Steelers and what was going on through her beliefs, at least. It was kind of cool, but that's nothing, obviously, we're going to talk about here and act like it's something to factor in. Like, we're talking ball, but when it comes to, the other side of ball, I will say that, and she commented this, but I will say, we had a coach, we played together in high school, we had a coach I always referred to the football gods, and I do have a belief that there is some sort of divine intervention with sports as a whole. Not necessarily always, but I just think there's a spiritual connection to sports outside of just like outcomes, of course, like there's primitive instincts we use during the game. There's a reason that Aaron Rodgers is 42 playing it. It's because it's feeding him spiritually. I coach, and literally I'd say the main reason I coach is because of what it feeds my soul, like not because of like just football. Football just as a blank canvas is just a game. But, the spiritual shit that you get from it, is big. And I don't know. Stuff like that kind of makes me think, but it always makes me think. Stuff makes me think like that, period, outside of football. But it was cool to see. Doesn't mean she's right. Doesn't mean that she's, it doesn't mean to go on FanDuel and put your life savings into it. But, yeah, that's something. I'm just kind of getting off topic because I guess when things are positive, there's less to say. I actually don't have much to say.
Yeah,
to be honest. I'm not trying to end it short, but like,
that's true though. I mean, we're in a good position. But if we're talking about that, then I believe there's a mojo, right? There's certain mojo. Like I could say the one year that I felt it was when I was young and we went and played the Packers in the Super Bowl. That playoff run, there was the first the only time where me and my family was watching the games from somewhere that wasn't home. We was going to Shrumy's neighbors, Ryan, his house, and watching it. And we won the what game was it? I forget who we played first that year. But we won that game, close game, and then I think it was San Diego. Then we played Baltimore and we went down 21-3. But there was a certain mojo in the house, I promise you, where we end up pulling it out, and then we played the Jets. Same thing. It's like when you go on a certain run, yes, there becomes it's like the underdog story. It's like the Cinderella story in March Madness. Like, why do you think upsets happen? It's the spirit of the game. It's the heightness of the game. It's the knowing that everyone's watching you at once. Knowing that you're the main focus, knowing that you got a chance to do something special brings a belief within your team, and it can become spiritual. The longer you let teams have that belief, the crazier something can happen. So, yeah, maybe the lady experienced spiritually a belief system that wasn't within the locker room that was able to tell her certain readings, and you don't know, because I think the continuity with the big thing that I love. And whether you agree, which if you watch the channel, you've seen the last episode and where it went. But whether you agree with the Tomlin or not, one thing you can say is I love the way that the players had his back in the interviews and saying, this is our coach. People are crazy, and I do believe that they united, and they're almost in a way it was like, no, we got to show people like our coach is a good coach. Like at the end of the day,
Which at the end of the game, Aaron Rodgers said he's the best coach in the league and 200 wins.
But that's whether Aaron Rodgers truly believes that or not. That's the energy that they're bringing in, and that's the fuel, the chip on the shoulder of, you know what, we about to show. Not just it's the locker room versus everyone. Yeah, you got fans. Yeah, we're part of the ride, right? We're part of the everything. We bring the spirit. If there's we seen the COVID year without fans. We know what the game looks like when you don't have fans, and the spirit that it takes away, and how important fans are to a team, especially the Steelers. We got the biggest of them all, us and the Cowboys. So my point is being that, when you have that belief in the locker room, nothing else really matters. And we could both attest to that. We both played high school football. Same thing. Like, you still got to, I mean, probably not like this at every school, but at our school, I'm pretty sure he'll tell you, like, it was a weird dynamic of like hating on each other in terms of like success, and you kind of block that out, and you kind of like, oh, we know what we have, and we'll show everyone, at the end of the day. So,
our cheerleaders wanted us to lose every game for some reason.
Yeah, but
probably because they didn't date any of the football players, because they were chopped. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Nah, but actually, to get off topic right quick, you talk about watching away from the crib. I take that back, Rachi girls. We love you. You're part of the family. Hopefully, you're watching the Blue Bridge podcast. But, watching away from home, actually, my hometown, Goldsboro, North Carolina. I think there actually is someone, at least one person that I'm thinking of right now that watches from my hometown, and that was for some reason, we had the hugest Steeler town, like. You had a couple people in the Steeler bars wearing Jimmy Graham jerseys at the time. If you know who Jimmy Graham is, he was from Goldsboro, NC. But pretty much everybody in the bars, even non-Steeler bars, were wearing Steeler stuff. That was a huge time. We went to this place called Morgan's, and it would have huge TVs in each room. It almost felt like someone's house, but it was a bar. And all I'm saying is for some reason, success felt evident when we were outside, kind of bringing the spirit. And, maybe spirit, similar to what we're encountering right now, Christmas spirit's a real thing. I believe in the spirit of Christmas, and we need to we need to feed some magic out there too. Fans matter, so everybody get up, get together, try to watch the game, even if it is at the house. Man, my goal is one day, I know this is off topic, one day I want to have a brewing company with my father, and I want to have like a restaurant. And I promise, if you guys are watching from Beaver County, that if that does end up happening, it'll be a huge Steeler type attraction, and we're gonna be able to watch the game there almost every week. I would bring the whole fan. That's the goal. I know that's off topic, but I'm just manifesting right now, guys. But I want it to be a super successful beer place as well as food, and mainly centered around sports. So, yeah, we're going to do that one day. Maybe Blue Ridge Brewing might be the name. Who knows? But, yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about at this point.
Stay tuned.
We might have beer. We might have beer. Tomlin's face could be on him if he wins us another bowl. But
you hear that, Tomlin?
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, no, I ain't gonna take too much back because I will say I need a playoff win. I do need a playoff win for all this to be.
Yeah.
And I need that bare minimum, of course. A run would be nice, but a playoff win would definitely set my head on a little different on my shoulders. So. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to get too because I feel like when we're overly positive, stuff happens. That's bad. So
I already said it. We're gonna win out. We're gonna win out and win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
you know that's my bold prediction. We're gonna win out. We're gonna win the Super Bowl, baby.
I have a weird feeling
we're winning that thing this year. It's been a long time coming. Everything's starting to gel together at the right time. We just beat the Detroit Lions. You know that's a game that honestly I gotta be honest. Did not think we were going to win at all. I thought it was going to be a game, one of those games, okay, keeps the Ravens.
Shows us where we're at.
Yeah, keeps the Ravens within reach. But they showed me something. Our team showed me something to go into that environment and be able to go out there and take the dub. And honestly, we did it handily if it wasn't for the mishaps down the stretch. That is a real thing, though. We do have to get better down the stretch because in the playoffs, weird stuff happens. So, we're happy. We don't got too much more. That's pretty much it for this episode. We'll get with y'all post game.
Yeah. The
Cleveland
last thing
Browns.
I say about that, really, my bad, but is man, you got AFC North ball, and the main team that you would want right now to seal the deal. You could literally, from my knowledge, we get to seal the deal this week with a win, regardless. You want the Browns, man. The Bengals are catching hot because Joe Burrow is that man. Lamar Jackson can still get you. Derrick Henry can still get you. I know they have a good defense, but I ain't worried about no Cleveland people at all. We got to shut them up. I'm not trying to hear it, bro. They knocked us out of the playoffs years ago. That should have been our first playoff win in a while. So, hell to the no. We got to get in there. We got to win this game. This is literally, we're getting handed a win right now, a division win.
A playoff ticket.
And that's it.
Here, take your ticket.
Yep. And this is all up to our players in the locker room and our coaches saying, what the hell else are we about to do? And honestly, this needs to, I say it's going to be a close game, but if our players really want to get to that munyan, when I say munyan, obviously it's figuratively, get to that real deal playoff game wins, we have to come out here and shut them out. We have to just go crazy.
Yeah, flex on them a little bit.
That's what we need to do.
Make Shedeur look like a rookie, like we made Dylan Gabriel.
Put up 40.
What we do, we made Dylan Gabriel look like a rookie. We're going to do the same thing to you, Shedeur. I'm sorry that, you know, it's big, man. We could be the reason that you get shipped off somewhere because if you're showing you can't win against AFC North teams, Stefanski already out to get you anyways, bro. So, hey, we'll be the ones that send you, you know, go Atlanta. Didn't you want to go Atlanta? They're struggling. They need a quarterback. We'll send you to Atlanta, brother.
Tomlin,
Y'all
get him for the squad, man. Get him for the squad. You know what time it is. Bitch.